What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Iron Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson has a vicious debate, and he explains why Floyd Mayweather is not boxing's GOAT and insists that 50-0 record has been beaten before by past legends. And this is what Iron Mike had to say. He said this. He said, listen, Sugar Ray Robinson had 40 fights. He lost one. And then he had a 78 fight winning streak. Wow. Julio Cesar Chavez Sr. was 89-0 before he lost. Don't tell me about you're the greatest fighter with 50-0. You're great, no doubt about it. But 50-0, Chavez had 90. He was fighting like what? 8 times a year against whoever was in the rankings. He wasn't picking. It was whomever you want. Come on. Mayweather has recently also surpassed by WBC strawweight champion Hang Menoyoting. However, he's now been beaten and he is 54-1. The retired legends now make money from exhibitions, with Tyson fighting Roy Jones last year and Mayweather fighting Logan Paul recently. Wow. Okay. Those are the words of Mike Tyson. Let me counterpunch. I think that Mike is a boxing historian. You can tell that he loves boxing. He loves it. And when you do talk about the protocols of fighters now, or let's say when Floyd fought, versus fighters of yesteryear, like Julio Cesar Chavez, Sugar Ray Robinson, I think he's 50% right. Okay, I would agree with him. He's not greater than someone like Sugar Ray Robinson. Sugar Ray Robinson was the GOAT because of what he did. 78 fights without a loss. You can't do that. That meant Floyd had to fight 28 more times. You see what I'm saying? To even compare. So that's that. Okay, he can't compare to 78 wins without a loss. He had 50 without a loss, but different circumstances. Now, however, if you compare him to guys like Julio Cesar Chavez, the protocol is still different. Okay, that's why it's kind of similar, because Julio Cesar Chavez was fighting 6-7 times a year. And Floyd only fought for a very long time, for years, only twice a year. Now, however, he did rack up a bunch of fights earlier when he was Pretty Boy. And I think Pretty Boy, he doesn't get enough credit, because Pretty Boy, it made a huge bulk of Floyd Mayweather's legacy, okay? With fighting guys like Shambe Mitchell, Daryl Chop Chop Corley, Diego Corrales, Jesus Chavez, the list goes on and on and on of the guys that he fought before he became the cash cow, before he fought Oscar De La Hoya, when he was with Bob Arum, and Bob Arum was talking the same smack that he's now doing with Terrence Crawford. Okay, so I think a big bulk of the success of Floyd was hard work and dedication. Okay, so I don't think it was just twice a year. He started fighting twice a year when he started making money. Probably the last 8-9 years of his career, he fought twice a year. But before that, he was a beast. He was destined to be great. He demanded a certain rate, and he got exactly what he wanted. I think he had done his just due. So if you want to compare him to Julio Cesar Chavez Sr., I think that's more comparable than someone like Sugar Ray Robinson. Okay, Sugar Ray Robinson is like a league, 4 or 5 leagues above Floyd as far as hard work and dedication and what he had to do to get the job done. Whereas Julio Cesar Chavez, yeah, he was 89-0 or whatever, but let's face it, guys like Pernell Whitaker gave him many problems. In fact, I think Pernell beat him. Pernell was robbed. They called it a draw, but it wasn't a draw. And then he got saved by the judge on one when the Mildred Taylor fight. So those type of things you have to look at. Now, as far as work rate, because I think Floyd, up into a certain point, had a work rate. Now, did he turn into a prima donna after he got what he wanted? Yeah, he did. because he was no longer pretty boy. That meant he no longer had to work like he been doing, and he started calling the shots. When people start calling the shots, it's like they work when they want to. So Floyd was in that position. And I think he was in that position. Did he live it up a little bit and kind of distort his legacy? To Floyd, he's like, I don't think so, because I put in my just due. And now if you compare Floyd to fighters of today, they haven't done half the things that Floyd has done, even when he was pretty boy. They're sitting around trying to be like Floyd, but they don't understand Floyd has already then made his just due. Okay, he already did so much in the sport by the time he became the cash cow that these guys want to skip right over that. So you have to give Floyd credit to a certain degree. Now, of course, you're talking about a fighter that is a generation above Floyd. Let's look at Mike for a minute. Mike was trained by Customato. Customato trained legends. Mike was just the last one. Mike Tyson, Teddy Atlas. Teddy Atlas is 10 years older than Mike Tyson. And he's trained legends. Okay? But they had that tutelage from Customato. And those type of guys that were no nonsense, they fought for everything. They fought honest, and then that's what you call an honest fighter. That's what you call true commitment. And true success when it comes to the squared circle, when you fight everyone that comes your way, not who you want to fight. So Mike Tyson is a guy that he's looking at it like, you know what? I don't respect 50-0 because I know how he got the 50-0. I get it. But it's hard. Mike Tyson is a hard customer to appease, especially when he sees guys picking guys like they want to. So again, Mike Tyson won't respect that, but we don't expect him to respect that because he comes from a real era. Okay, so to wrap this up, Mike Tyson looking at Floyd Mayweather and the things and the picks and the chooses and the things that he wanted to do, he did. He can't get total respect from being the GOAT because he didn't do GOAT stuff all the way through his career. That's what Mike Tyson is saying, I believe. You guys tell me what you think about Mike Tyson doubting that Floyd Mayweather is the GOAT of boxing. Tell me what you think. Please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.